Hi guys, in today's video we will discuss about how you will create user-defined data types in SQL Server. This is Vineet, and let's go to our notes quickly. So these are the notes. Before we proceed ahead, I would request you guys to please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. There's a subscribe button below my video. Click on that button. Once you click on that button, you will get a bell icon next to it. Click on that bell icon, select all notifications to get notifications regarding all my future videos. So today's topic is user-defined data types. So we will show you how you can create user-defined data types in the system using the SQL Server Management Studio and using the Transact SQL. So let's go to SQL Server quickly, and we are inside SQL Server Management Studio. And in order to create the user-defined data type using the GUI mode, in the Object Explorer section on the left hand side, you need to expand the databases, and you need to expand the database under which you want to create a user-defined data type. So under database, you need to expand the programmability section. Under programmability section, there is a type section. Under that, under type section, there is a user-defined data type section. This is the one, user-defined data types, and you need to right click on that user-defined data types and you need to select new user-defined data type. So it will open up a dialog box where you can define the user-defined data types. Let me discuss some of the options here. So one of the checkboxes you see to allow for nulls. So what does that specify? It specifies whether the user-defined data type can accept null values or not. The nullability of an existing user-defined data type is not editable. So once this setting is defined, it cannot be changed. So this setting is not editable. It can be initially defined while creating a user-defined data type, and specifies whether user-defined data type can accept null values or not. Now there is a data type column which shows the system-defined data types list. So this is basically a base data type list. So this the list box displays all the data types except for some of the data types, except some data types like geography, geometry, hierarchy, ID, sysname and timestamp, and XML data types. Apart from that, all the other data types are in the list. And the data type of an existing user-defined data type is not editable. Okay, so let's leave it for now. Let's set to begin. Let's check some of the other options. So one is the default option over here. This is the one. It's under the binding section. It basically lets you optionally select a default to bind to the user-defined data type alias. So maybe a default value. Then there is a length precision value. So here it is 19 for begin data type. Precision, this is a precision or length you can say, so which is like 19 right now. So what it specifies, the length and precision, what does it specify? It displays the length or precision of a data type as applicable. So it is specifying the length of the big int. If we select binary, it is showing us 8000. For bit it is showing 1. So basically this is showing value in bytes. So for big int, if we select big int, it takes 19. So basically the precision and length section shows you the precision of a data type as applicable. Length applies to a character based or user defined data type. So if we select some character based data type like varchar maybe, so do we see varchar? So once we select varchar, this precision columns change to length. So length basically applies to the character type, character based user defined data types. So whereas the precision applies to a numeric based user defined data types, or base types we can say here. So if we select varchar, the precision changes to length. A varchar can store like 8000 characters. Up to 8000 characters. And length we can specify it over here. Maximum length for varchar is 8000, so it can be reduced depending upon how much we want to store in this user defined data type. And this label changes depending upon the data type selected earlier. So varchar, it shows length. If I select any integer data type like int, it changes to precision. So integer has a precision of 10 characters. And length is not displayed for nvarchar max, varchar max and binary max. So let me select one of the other databases. So if we select nvarchar, so the max, there is a max option for, so for nvarchar it was displaying the length, but if we select nvarchar max, this columns grays out, so it does not display. So length is not displayed for nvarchar max, varchar max or varchar binary max data types. Now let's talk about the name. This specifies the name of a newly user defined data type that we are creating, and we should type a unique name to be used across the database to represent the user defined data type. The maximum number of character must match the system sysname data type, and the name of the existing user defined data type alias is not editable. So this value is not editable. Most of the values are not editable. So let's define it as a test type. Let's see. Give me a second, guys. Let's take it as test type. Let me define a test udt. Let's check some other options. One is the rule option given over here. So what does rule specify? It optionally selects a rule to bind to a user defined data type alias. We will talk about the rules in detail in this video maybe, or in our upcoming videos. There's a scale option as well. So let's see. Scale specifies the maximum number of decimal dates can be stored to the right of the decimal point. So if we select any data types, like apart from, if we select decimal data type, it gives us the scale option over here. So what does this specify? This specifies the maximum number of decimal digits. So for decimal it is saying that we have a precision of 38 and a scale of 38. Scale specifies the number of decimal digits can be stored to the right of the decimal point. And precision shows us the number of digits to the left of the decimal point. So this is left, this is right to the decimal point. There is a schema option also available to the top. So under what schema we are creating this user defined data type. So we can select a schema from the list if any other schema is defined from the list of all the schemas available. So far we only have that DBO schema available in this database. We haven't defined any schemas yet. So DBO is the schema for the current user. And there's a storage section as well, which basically specifies the maximum storage size for the user defined data type, and maximum storage sizes vary based on precision. So this storage size depends upon the precision of the data type. If the precision is somewhere between 1 to 9, the storage size is around 5 bytes. If the precision what we are taking is somewhere between 29 to 38, the storage size is 17. So there is a table for that precision storage. You can check that out online. For nchar and varchar data types, the storage value is always 2 times the value in length. So if we select any n varchar data type, so the storage value is 2 times in length here. So for 4000 multiplied by 2 is 8000. And storage is not display for, again, there are certain data types, the max data types, for which the storage does not get displayed. There are 3 n max data types like n varchar max and var binary max. For that, the storage as well as the length is not displayed. So now let's start with the creation. So schema we have selected as DBU. In the name type box, we need to type the name of the new UDT. We are taking it as test UDT. In the data type box, I'm selecting it as varchar and I want to store it as 50 characters. Varchar 50 we are taking it as. And we have completed the length. Precision box is not there. Scale box is not there. And we are allowing nulls for this data type. We're not setting the default value for this data type. Otherwise we can set some default value. Maybe we can we don't want to set any default value. Otherwise, if you want to set any default value, we can set it here. We are not specifying any rules over here. We are not binding any rules. So here it gives you only options to bind default or rules. However, the defaults and rules cannot be created within the SQL Server Management Studio, and we need to use the Transact SQL to create the default rules. It cannot be created from the Studio GUI mode. So only binding can be done, but it cannot be created. So we are leaving it for now, and we need to click on OK. So we can declare certain variable. How to use that user defined data type? We are creating a test variable. What we are creating it as, we need to specify the data type. So let's create a temporary variable. So this is temporary variable. We put at the rate along with that. Not sure, at the rate, I think hash. Okay, let's put that test UDT. Let's see. First of all, let's see whether the test UDT is created here. We can see it here. Though it is not allowing us to use that. Use that type. Let me check. So guys, we have declared a variable over here. So variable should be declared with the option over here. So we are declaring a test variable. We have defined it as test UDT. We have ran this statement and this statement ran successfully. Now what we can do, we can use it to set value. So for test variable, I'm putting some value in. This is a sample text. So this test utility variable can store up to 50 characters. So we can store certain text in this variable, and we can print that out via the print statement. So if we set test for, we can print this values over here. So we can run all these three statements here. So we got the output. This is a sample test. Alright, this is how you declare store value by using the test utility over here. What if we try to store some bigger values, maybe more than 50 characters? I think, not sure if this is more than 50 characters. So let's try to store a bigger value. It should give an error because this is set to varchar 50. So let's see. Now it gives us any error. So what it is doing is, it is not giving us any error, but what it is doing is, it is simply truncating the extra values. So it is only first 50 characters, rest it's ignoring. So we're fine over here. So this is how you can use the user-defined data types. You can also use user-defined data types while creating a table. So let me show you a sample. So let's create a table in the database. Let's see what tables do we have. We have a student table. So let's see what student table has columns in them. So name we are using varchar 100. So we can put a location as an additional column. So instead of creating a table, I'm altering this table, student here. What we are doing after that, we are adding a column. Location, and we are specifying the data type, and we are specifying this data type as test utility. So it can store up to like 50 characters. So yeah, test utility is the data type. So that's it. Let's see if it works. So this is giving us some syntax error. Let's check. So guys, we do not particularly specify column, so we just give add, and we give the name of the column, which is location over here, and we are specifying it with the test udt data type. Let's execute this statement. So this column is added. Now if we refresh the column section here, we'll see two columns here, name and location. So location has the test utility data type, which is varchar 50. So now we can insert some values into this table. So insert into, we are doing student, and specify the column names, name and the location. We are entering values. Name can be Sham, and location can be Delhi. So this is how user-defined data types can be used. So we have added the value. We can select the rows from the table. So select start from student. If we do, we will see that it is listing out the location for Sham. There are duplicate entries. This was added earlier. So this is the new entry, fourth one. So it's for Sham, and location is set to Delhi. Location is using the user defined data type, which is test udt mentioned over here, and test udt holds the varchar 50. So this is how you can create user defined data types, and this is how you can use user defined data types. So far I've shown you how you can how to create the. Now let's drop this column, which is so let's remove this column altogether. Let's delete it. So we have deleted the column, we have a single column over here. Now what we will do, we have shown you how you can create a user defined data type using the GUI mode. Let's show you what's the code to create the T-SQL code to create the user defined data type. So in order to do that, you need to use the create type statement, and you need to specify the. So let me delete the type as well here from here. That was created earlier using the GUI mode. Now let's create it using the Transact SQL mode. So we are creating type test UAT, and we need to specify the from clause, and we need to specify the base data type, which is I'm taking as varchar 50, and I'm specifying it as not null this time, or maybe if we want we can specify it as null, but that is the default type. So we can execute this statement. So user defined data type is created. If we refresh it here, we will get the data type test UT, and it accepts null. It's of base data type varchar 50. So guys, in this video we have shown you how you can create data types, how can you create user defined data types from the base types, and how you can use those user defined data types while creating tables, or if you want to add any columns to a table, you can use user defined data types there. You can use user defined data types with the temporary variables. We have shown you that as well, and we have also shown you how you can create user defined data type both using the GUI mode and the Transact SQL mode. So guys, we are done for today. I hope you liked this video. Please like, subscribe and share. Like, comment and share, and please subscribe to my channel and hit up the bell notification icon. Select all notifications to get notifications regarding all my future videos. I thank you so much for your time, and you have a wonderful day ahead.